I'm gonna try the AI assistant one more time, but we haven't been successful in finding where that even gets loaded up at. But
Summarized. We ready?
yes, sir.
Okay. Well, welcome. This is Jerry Shufsik. I am chair of the Clark County Public Art Committee and calling this meeting to order on June 9th, 2026 at 3:38 p.m. And our first item on our agenda is roll call. So this is Jerry Shefzik, Chair. Mary,
Absent.
absent. If you would please respond with your full name. Alexia,
Absent. I guess
absent.
both of those are excused too.
Excused. Okay, Alfredo, he's absent and excused. Heather,
Present, Heather Harmon.
thank you. And Ken,
Tim Ruffin.
thank you. And Sean,
Sean Russell here.
thank you. We have a quorum.
Yes, we do.
Hey, agenda. Thank you. Do we have, actually, I'd like to have county staff introduce themselves if they could.
Absolutely. So I'm Mickey Sprode. I am the program administrator for the Public Arts Office.
Thank you.
Eileen, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Eileen Costco. I am a public art project coordinator and supervisor here at County Public Arts.
Thank you, Eileen.
Gianna.
Hi, I'm Gianna Bakira. I'm the office specialist for the Public Arts Office.
Thank you, Gianna.
Jay.
Jay Woodward, Deputy District Attorney assigned to Parks and Recreation.
Thank you. Anyone else?
No one
No.
I see at this time.
Okay, great. Can't do any of this without a staff, so. All right, agenda item number 2, public comment. This is a period devoted to comments by the general public about items on this agenda. No discussion, action, or vote may be taken on this agenda item. You will be afforded the opportunity to speak on individual public hearing items at the time they are presented, and no action will be taken on any agenda item prior to an opportunity for a public comment. If you wish to,
There's
yes,
no one here
Oh, that-
or online.
okay, well, then we will skip the rest of that. Thank you, and go on to agenda item number 3. Approval of the agenda for this meeting, June 9th, for possible action. You've got the agenda. Is there a motion to approve it?
Jerry, I'll make a motion to approve today's June 9th agenda.
Great, thank you. Heather, in a second.
Tim Ruffin. Second.
Thank you, Ken. It's been moved that we approve the agenda for today, June 9th. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And agenda item number 4, approval of minutes from April 14th, 2026 for possible action. Minutes were attached to a previous email. Hopefully you've all had a chance to look at them.
Jerry, Heather,
Yes,
I make
yes.
a motion to approve.
Great, thank you, Heather. And a second?
Tim Ruffin. Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from April 14th. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Great, thank you very much. All right, agenda item number 5, acknowledgement of committee member training of Nevada Ethics Commission's ethics training program. Do we have anyone left to complete this? Do you know, Mickey? Or
Gianna
Gianna?
does.
Gianna.
The only one I haven't heard from is Alexia, but everyone else is good to go.
Okay, great. Well, we will ask her
I will
next time.
follow up with her again.
Great. Very good. Okay, moving on to agenda item number 6, budget presentation. 6A, Hollywood Baseball Park, a proposal to create a sculpture within the baseball park sign.
Cool. So, we had the architect from this project reach out to the public art office. They are proposing, and asking the art committee if you all would fund a sculpture that would go into this area above the signage, the baseball complex at Hollywood. So the scope is to design and build a sculpture to be placed within the park sign. It is up at the Hollywood Regional Park, so that is Hollywood Boulevard in between Sahara and Charleston. We did wrap up this year the mural project with Eric Vizzolo in that same area. This park is well used. There's a lot of area. Tell me if you are seeing this map here. I don't think you- Stop sharing. Share. So you can see in this area, this is Hollywood Rec Center. Here's some existing ball fields. They just did a soccer field here. They added last year this regional park trail system. This park also has a beautiful skate park here. You see the fire stations here, and then this plot of land is going to be a metro substation. So it's a really great area. And then this area here is a wash, a natural wash. So I don't know the exact extent if that baseball fields are going right in this region here. That's where I'm assuming it's going. And then if you remember, we do have $500,000 to spend on new projects this year. So we're asking for this project, or we're presenting to you at this time for $100,000. Ultimately, it will be up to the art committee to make the choice on what really that funding is going to look like. And then keep in mind that $100,000 is construction as well. So the install of said sculpture. So it's about, it's a little over 50% of the funding goes to the artists. The rest goes into other services, engineers, general contractors, contingency funding, all the other fun stuff.
Mickey, can I just ask a quick process question? So, I understand you'd be seeking a motion to approve it, and what would be approved would be the principle to have a sculpture in this location, and then would it go through an RFQ process where artists would submit proposals and be selected in the normal way in which we would select projects?
Yes.
Okay.
So a couple things on that. Right way. So currently right now, this agenda item isn't an action item. We want to pitch to you several projects in the next 2-3 months. And then we'll come back with a real budget meeting where then you will have ultimate say and a vote on. And so right now it's just discussion about this location. Any
Okay.
suggestions you have, come next month, you might bring it up and be like, hey, I was thinking about XYZ with this project. And
So
as long as we have
essentially, this is one of many items. And so this is part of a larger menu. And it's the framework of having $500,000 to spend. And after the next few months of process, we'll be in a place where we'll choose how, with your guidance and staff's guidance and the guidance of the group, how the funds are allocated.
absolutely.
Okay, great. Thank you. Sorry.
No, thank you.
Well, I have a question also. When it says within the baseball park sign, what does that mean?
So the architect had identified, so you see here where it says baseball complex. There, the architect that's building this or designing this baseball field is recognizing that there's an opportunity up here on this moon shape or oval to place a public art piece.
Okay, well, the image the image I have is very small. It looks like a platform already.
Mhm.
Okay.
It does,
What-
which also means we kind of save a lot of money. Hopefully, we can cut the cost of some of the general contractor work because I also talked to the architect about, well, what would you put in that circle? Like, what's that foundation look like? And they discussed just packing it with GD, which is crumbled up granite, right?
Yeah,
So
decomposed granite.
DG, that's what it is.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
DG,
Like a little pebbly type of granite, really common with outdoor sculpture.
absolutely. Which means we could use ground anchors instead of a bunch of concrete work. And so more of that $100,000 could go to the artist to create something really spectacular. And then we can minimize the amount that's going to the general contractor.
And one other thing I'll mention about DG is it's better for the heat index. Concrete often raises the heat index, and DG doesn't have the same heat index veracity that the just the hard concrete does. It's a soft surface. Mickey, may I ask one more question? Who is the architect?
Oh,
Don't
So-
worry if you don't know. It's just
I
a
don't
good,
know,
like,
but
so nice to have an architect that's interested in public art. More projects for that person, hopefully.
absolutely. I will let you all know.
Was this platform made with the idea that then someday there would be a work of art on it?
Well, that's why they had called us in.
So the
was I
platform will
think
be
they
made
had felt it.
regardless. Like what we're looking at, right?
Yes, this is what they are in design phase right now. So
Okay.
it could change if funding isn't there, all the things, but I do think it's a nice backdrop. I even suggested, I said, look, you're gonna have all of these children there that are gonna want an area to photograph in, and what better place than that photograph in front of a sculpture. And so I did suggest rethinking that area because if we put something there, or if we don't, regardless, I think they're all gonna climb up there and take their photograph. That wall, that signage or that pony wall made out of metal, it's gonna be made out of aluminum,
Wow.
is 4 foot tall. And so the architect did start spinning his wheels. Well, if people are going to be photographing with it, we need a railing and we need all sorts of craziness. So, nothing's ever set in stone until all of the funding aspect is completed on it.
Well, the one rendering to the left of it looks like there's plant life to be part of this.
Yeah.
Is that what they're thinking?
Absolutely. So they got those trees in the background, that back end slopes. So it's kind of easy climb upable area. And then it looks like they're putting bushes along that top end too.
Okay.
And so they believe the project will be completed in September of 2027. And so this is fantastic timing to get this approved. It won't realistically, it won't get approved until like September of this year. Because we'll have to, once you guys do all of your budgeting, then we got to take it to the Board of County Commission. Takes about a month to get on their agenda. And then we start an RFQ process.
Wow.
You know, that takes a while too. So we are in a sense behind on this project.
Is the 500,000 budget for projects pretty much in place for our next fiscal year?
No, this first one that
No.
is come
What's that?
to you. This is the first one to come to you. If and I apologize, I say 500,000, but we took some of that funding for Desert Breeze, so that dropped it down. And then what was left over, is what Eileen and I are actively looking for projects to pitch to you all. And vice versa, if you have projects that you're thinking about, you should be letting us know so we can facilitate that conversation. So we have, so I apologize, I said $500,000, but our proposed new projects budget is $403,445. $403,445 is what we have to spend on new projects. This being one of them. We do have like a mural project that we want to pitch to you over in District C. And then I'm sure we'll have a couple more projects that pop up when we go to the Board of County Commission with the arts plan.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, do you think we should move on?
All right. Yes. Thank you. Then, yes, moving on to agenda item 7. To discuss proposed amendments to the bylaws. Not an action item. The process for amending bylaws.
So just a reminder, we do need to put this on 2 consecutive meetings. We'll have that 2/3 vote from the entire membership. And we do need approval from the Parks and Rec director. Even though we talked about these things last meeting, this officially starts our first meeting on these bylaws changes. And so Jay really helped us with this project. We really appreciate his time. So this was the section that Jay really focused in on, was section 3. I believe a document was put into your packet that is maybe a little bit easier to view. But here is Jay's proposed changes. So you can see in section 3, the membership, the first thing he's proposed changing is excluding Clark County, just saying Southern Nevada. I think, Jay, what we were thinking there was excluding a Clark County staff member. So we may want to clarify that. There are art commissions like City of Las Vegas who do have their staff on the board. For instance, Jennifer Clevin is the deputy director and she's on the City of Las Vegas one. So the next thing was he's proposed, should a member of the committee qualified to serve as a representative of a group as described in section 3, A1, 2, or 3, cease to have the necessary qualifications to serve as a representative member of that group, they shall be allowed to continue to serve as a member of the committee as long as their remaining term does not exceed 24 months. So if you remember, that was a discussion item from last month. We had looked at all 3 NRS statutes that Jay had provided, and the discussion was, well, let's take the fullest one, which was that 24 months. The next line is, should a member of the committee qualified to serve as a representative of a group as described in section 3, A1, 2, and 3, vacate their committee position, another present member of the committee possessing a qualification to serve as a representative of the group which the former committee member represented, who is not already representing another group as described in section 3, A1, 2, or 3, may immediately begin to represent that group for the remainder of the present member's current term. So if you remember, that one came about because we have Alfredo that is terming out as an architect. You have Alexia Chin, who is seated as a member at large. Should she roll over to the architect position? And then the next line is, should a committee member no longer reside in Clark County, resign, term expire, or otherwise vacate the committee position, his or her membership shall automatically expire. If a vacancy committee member represents a group as described in section 3, A1, 2, or 3, and no other present member of the committee is eligible to act as a group representative pursuant to section 3D, the replacement member will represent the same group the former member represented if possible. So that further pushes that if somebody leaves us because they've left our community, we still want them to go because they won't be a part of our community, but we need to fill that position. And we could fill it from within to maybe open up a different position if any of us saw the need. And then the rest of it doesn't change. And if you look back at our I was gonna say, if you look back at your meeting minutes, but you'd have to have that full packet in order to see those original questions. I feel like the only thing that was like really missing from last time, Jay, was we had a question specifically for you about descriptions of committee members. Because you had talked a little bit about how you're like, hey, well, I look up professor and professor says this. I looked up our architect and it said this, but you weren't seeing the ties between our definitions and those that you're looking at.
Right. So if we're looking up, we don't define any of these roles in the bylaws, so we have to refer either to definitions that appear elsewhere or it's the plain meaning of language. Typically, there's going to be a deference to any established language elsewhere. And so, for instance, like faculty being defined by the Nevada State Higher Education gives a pretty cut and dry understanding of what the term faculty means. I could look into if we wanted to supply our own definitions, but I think for the most part that's where we are at with my evaluation on that. Was there a more specific question?
No, I think that was it. We did establish with Jerry that Jerry would be, we're banking that Jerry is going to be awarded his, what is it, emeritus?
Emeritus. Emeritus, yes.
Emeritus. Yeah, so his status, which does mean he's like professor for life.
Yeah.
But with along with the other things and some great accreditations, but then I think even the architect who are maybe questioning the certification of architect. I just want to make sure we're good and solid there. And then again, it's a discussion for the art committee to have, not really staff to have, but art staff member of local entity in Southern Nevada, the excluding met for county staff members. I will leave this to the board to discuss.
Are there any thoughts on this from our members here present?
Oh, hey, Heather got bounced again. I'm putting her back on panelist. Okay, Heather, you're back on. Does the board want these changes or are okay with these changes? We do need a statement. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm fishing for. Okay, item C.
I mean, I would say, Mickey, if you're happy with these changes, I know they came from the guidance of the county's attorney, and I know that they felt that the requirements needed to be more specific. So if that is a requirement and you're happy with these changes, I think we should support these changes. I think they're very specific, so that might at some point be restrictive if there's someone that may have qualifications and may have past experience but doesn't have current professional experience. It's very designated towards your current professional experience, but again, understanding that this is a request from the legal team and that they feel this needs to be more clearly outlined and delineated.
But I do want to clarify, while yes, Jay provided these great details for us, it was stemmed out of the issues brought up by the board members and or the things that are happening right now, right? So having Alfredo come off the board, having Alexia and Ken are going to have to apply right now for their positions for that 3 years. Mary just had it happen. And then with Jerry's pending retirement. I just wanted to put that on the record that Vice Jay's like, what? It's me? Okay. Well, we will
I'd like to get, to have the other, our other board members look at this and, have them offer, opinions if should they have something to say about it before we do this, just to get a unanimous response to make sure everybody's on board.
I think that's a great idea. Gianna, will you make sure that this slide or that Word document that Jay put together is sent out tomorrow to everyone with a reminder of like, hey, you could chime in by X date, which is 14 days before our next meeting. Then we could get with Jay on any changes needed. And then that way we could stay with maybe updating the bylaws in July.
Yes.
We stick with our timeline.
Does this solve all current concerns about membership?
I think it does.
Okay, I support it.
Yep. Okay.
I'm in support of it too, but this affects me as in my position.
Yeah.
Ultimately. So anyway.
You'll still be faculty.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll just
Should-
hire you
yeah.
to sit instead, and then you could not have classes, and you'll be a part-time faculty.
All right.
Then you are an arts faculty by definition.
And the reality is, as much, look, we worked on this a couple years ago. Sometimes we got to change the bylaws because things come up that we didn't realize. So 2 years
Yeah.
ago, we changed it. I think we made some really great adjustments to clarify things. And then all of these things came up at the same time. And it's a great time to review bylaws and change them. And you're doing it in a public meeting the right way with DA guidance. This is the way to do it the right way.
And so be it.
And it helps for future too. It's not just about this board now. It's what this board looks like in the future with different committee members that are going to have those same problems.
Yes, it will. Question will come up again.
Yep.
All right. Okay. So that was agenda item 7. Correct?
Yes.
And moving on then to agenda item 8, a report by staff regarding monthly summary of activities. So please proceed.
Thank you. Okay, is everyone seeing the open call screen? Yes, okay, thank you. Okay, so we have several calls out right now. We have youth education, temporary public art projects. That call is going to close June 10th. If you remember and tell people about it, this is a entry-level public art position that really can help artists to build their resume, get some real-world experience in leadership, how to do community engagement, and then project manage. So, you know, there's longevity there. There's an okay price point. We are sculpture heavy. Our focus is sculptures, but please still encourage 2D artists to apply. We need sculpture artists. And so we need to support our 2D artists into becoming sculpture artists. So yeah, open for all. Then you have solo series. This is at our Pearson Gallery. And so we identify 4 artists that will have solo shows. We will pay them for exhibiting and doing a workshop. And so we're really looking for underserved artists that have never had the opportunity to show a solo exhibit, to come into Pearson, show some of their artwork and have fun with it. We tried to have them be interviewed by Channel 4. We get them congressional awards. At the reception, we have musicians that play and we offer food. So we really try to do a lot to bring some awareness to these artists. Additionally, we have Cordova Creative as our PR firm that is helping out public arts. And so they were able to take Denise Mayang, her solo series exhibit, and put her on Channel 5 and Channel 8 talking about her artwork. So it's a great opportunity for any artist of any age that has never had that opportunity. Encourage them to apply. Next we have the Rotunda Gallery. We have a call out for Be Home Soon. This is specifically for artists in our community that were not born and raised in Las Vegas. Jennifer Clevin is going to be during this exhibit, and that close happens July 5th. And then, of course, we're always looking for musicians. On the Poet Laureate, Miss Avey is still doing her thing. You see all the events she did in April and May. Her term does end in September. We do have a poetry programming going on, and so we had in April, we did have a FAQ webinar for the next Poet Laureate. We did an Inkwell workshop with Monarch the Poet. We had poetry on the patio. This was with Miss Avey, A.A. Monet, and Denise Byrne wrote. Just making up last names. I apologize, Denise. But that was a really successful attendance. We had 25 people that attended that event. And that event had mocktails and it was an open mic poetry. So Ariel is looking to expand that programming. And she is talking to Mount Charleston to see if maybe she could do a summer retreat up there, do something similar, an open mic, and then looking at some various places here in Vegas to do such a thing. Then we still had 2 other inkwells that happened, and then we have on June 13th there is a partnership programming happening with Winchester Cultural Center, and so we've hired the poets. Winchester has hired the musicians, and it'll be a super fun event. It's free and open to all ages. They are going to have a reception with mocktails. That's going to be Saturday, June 13th, 5 to 7 p.m. at Winchester. And then the last thing I want to say on Inkwell Poetry. So she has everyone lined up until December. And with Inkwell, it is online, it's free, and the idea is it's the same as Full Scope for public artists. And we actually have, she said, one of our attendees is coming from England. So she hasn't missed a beat, lives in a different country, and takes advantage of Clark County's free programming. It's cool.
For this month's Full Scope, we have Catherine Rosthart. She is from Building 180. She'll be talking to us about fabricating public art pieces and installing temporary artwork. She's also going to be talking to us about the new project, the Big Art Loop, which invites over 100 artists to install temporary installations in public art all along with San Francisco. So that'll be next week on Tuesday at 3 p.m. through WebEx.
And then we talked about this one, but the call, like we said, is June 10th. How about, sorry, Eileen, I kind of jumped into yours. Old habit. You talk about the on display.
Well, right now we don't have anything on display. This has actually been taken down. We are just currently working on the next selections for education.
Thank you. Okay, so Pearson Gallery, we have our next show is Juneteenth. It was installed last Monday. The art reception is on June 12th at says 6 to 8 p.m. With a jury award announcement at 6:30. So a little bit different timing than we're used to at Pearson, but there is an overall larger event happening at Pearson Community Center that day during that time. And so if you're around, go check it out. There is one of the things they're doing is there's a social media influencer here in town that puts on these $10 events, and they're big events, like one random, and it's like random stuff. Like maybe it's you pay $10 and you go to the movies and they give you a soda and popcorn for free or something like that. I know they did it with the outdoor movie theater. So they're doing some type of that thing happening during this event at Pearson. I don't know. At the Rotunda Gallery, we have up our America 250 exhibit. It's called Expressions of Clark County. That is juried by A.B. Wilkinson. We had 38 apps. There was 27 artists that were selected. The exhibit runs through July 16th, and we will have a closing reception on July 16th. This call was unique as well because we did include performances in the call. And so there was 4 performers that had applied. 3 were selected. They will run on a video, but they will also be compensated to perform at the reception. And then wetlands, wetlands has a variety of different galleries. We fund a small portion of one gallery, so that's what's being represented here. And you can see that currently up and running through July 25th is Song Unbound. Was that 5? Unbound 4th annual. It has to be 4. 4th annual Plein Air Invitational. And so, but that reception has already happened. There's 38 groups. Now, as always, we like to kind of incorporate a little bit of marketing insights. You can see here, Instagram, we had 58,000 views. We had 3,600 interactions, and we have 5,400 followers. That was from May 5th to June 4th. As far as our newsletter goes, on the art calls, we have 1,887 members. And in our events, it looks like we've had a little bit of a spike, and we're at 2,065 people that follow us on that newsletter for our events. Facebook's a little bit smaller. It's just a declining population, but we do have a population of artists still on Facebook, and so we continue to support that platform as well. I think I see Brett online.
Yep.
Brett, you want to talk about conservation and introduce yourself?
Yeah. Sure. Am I coming through okay?
You are, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, I just got a new computer, so I'm still trying to figure it out. Sorry, I still haven't figured out the camera.
No worries.
But anyways, so for this month, the latest project that got completed was Peter Hazel's Wanna Play repair. He completed that by the end of May. So and then let me bring up.
So I should have can you see the screen? I know it's a small screen.
Yeah.
But our first one's Zap.
Okay. Yeah. So Zap right now we're at $50,328 from in our budget for that project. They recorded 8 tags this month, and they covered over 8 boxes that we had set for decommission. And those boxes you can see on the photo right there. Basically, all these are past our 5-year obligation to maintain them, and the wear and tear on them from repeated tag use damaged the paint and made it to the point where it's not realistic to keep on maintaining them. So we decided to decommission these boxes for this year. And on top of that, we also are working on, well, we sent out a bid for next year for companies that we're hiring to assist with graffiti removal with our Zap project. We should be getting that bid back by the 15th. And so we'll be able to get it started by June or by July. Start having them assist us with graffiti removal for this next fiscal year. The Camp Lee bathrooms,
Oh, I can
which
take that
is,
one.
yeah.
I can take over that one, Brandon. For the Camp Lee bathroom, the artist Brenda, she has completed majority of the painting. She does have to take a break because there are camp activities happening from June to September, but she will be returning in October to finish the rest of the year. Gianna, is Mickey,
It
is
looks
the
like he
Gianna,
stepped out for a second.
are you able to control the presentation by chance?
Yes, let me see here. Don't know if I can actually do it on my end. I'll just step over to office.
Brent, the next one is, can you talk a little more about it?
Yeah. So with Reach, we have the quote finished. Basically me and Mickey are looking for contractors. The quote's pretty extensive. We decided, since we're moving forward with the project finally, that we wanted to get a few things addressed. One of the things was when we had our engineer assessment a few years back, they had recommended that we re-level the base of the sculpture because it's sinking into the ground around it. And we're also going to have the company assess the irrigation and electrical lines around the sculpture, make sure there's no damage to them and whatnot. So in all, we're going to have the company that we're hiring remove the paint, hire an artist to repaint with a slightly different paint. It's matches the color, but the paint that was originally used was a specialty car paint that is color changing in heat. And one of the issues from the get-go with it was applied in situ, and with the conditions and environment around it, the car paint ended up cracking. So we decided, as for maintenance purposes, it would be better to use paint with a metallic finish, much like the one that you're seeing right here, but that color changing effects be applied. And it's a latex based paint, so it's not an oil paint or specialty car paint. So it makes it better for maintenance if there are issues that occur in the future for us to be able to repair and limit the costs. Along with that, there's I think that's about it. It's pretty extensive project, so we're looking for contractors that will handle the whole thing. So that's where we're at right now with this project.
For the Day of the Dead mosaic mural, artist Sierra Smith has began working on the tile. She is projecting completion date on the third week of June. And then for the Aku Aku interpretive sign, Hamilton Blake has already completed removing the trees on the island, so the sculpture itself is more visible. Now we are just waiting for their permits to go through. Once that permit goes through, we will be able to install the site. Wanna Play is already completed. Peter Hinkle has completed the maintenance. As you can see on the photos, all of the issues have been addressed. And Octosteam, I think Brett has our updates for that.
So on Octosteam, we have been in contact with the artist. He told us back in I believe it was April, he contacted us and said that he was going to provide us 3 quotes. I followed up with him. I haven't heard a response back. He did say he was busy, and Eileen had sent him an email at the beginning of this month to follow up and check on the quote status. Because the artist had expressed interest in doing the repairs in the median, which would require a traffic control plan. So it's a little extensive where they would have to basically file a traffic control plan with Public Works and get it approved so they could block off the area with cones and make it safe for the artist to be able to actually perform those duties out on site. So we're just waiting for him to respond. And I believe we're going to send him a follow-up email in like the next week if we haven't heard anything from him.
So I imagine with the 3 quotes, what he's doing, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brett, he's getting traffic control companies that give him a price quote on like doing that part of the job, which is to lay out all of those cones and block off the area for him. And then he's really providing us his quote. So he's just providing 1 quote that is the whole cost of the entire project for him to manage that project.
Yeah, from what he said when I was talking with him, he's providing 2 quotes that are contingent upon there being a traffic control plan and him doing repairs. So I think with those 2, it just depends. I don't know if he's considering different materials or whatnot for repairs. But then the 3rd quote is if he has to take it off site.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
For the Winchester Skate Park, we did get confirmation and approval to use a specific material. So right now we have put out requests for quotes from 3 different companies to do the job. So we're waiting on those 3.
Then Brad, I think this is just your kind of general
Yeah.
report.
Yeah. So Mickey, Eileen, and I were talking, and we decided that it'd probably be best to highlight some of the activities that conservation is doing outside of the main projects. These are repair projects that don't necessitate us having to hire a company and do the repairs. So starting with this month, at we were notified in May that Lance Smith's Zap 7 box was tagged and damaged. So I went out and I removed the tag, but the box, I know a lot of people are might not be familiar with this, but originally we had an issue with the shop owner and buy the box actually painting over it, right? The year that it was actually made in 2015. And the artist was rehired to paint the box, but there was some issues with the shop owner and the figures that were on the box. He didn't like them, and the artist, even though there was a whole committee meeting that could have came to and expressed all this stuff, but it had damage to it. So when it got tagged this month, some of the tag remained because there were some valleys and areas of the artwork that the paint kind of settled into. So I ended up having to repaint it, and I fixed it and reapplied clear coat to it. I wasn't able to provide photos this month, but I'll provide them next month with the next month's activities. From there, there's the shade structures on the Flamingo Arroyo Trail, which is on the Pecos and McLeod and Desert Inn intersection. They received one of the shade structures received a few tags. Our policy for repairing is it's Corten steel, so we remove it with steel brush and graffiti remover, and then we apply vinegar, salt, and a hydrogen peroxide solution to it that allows it to naturally reoxidize to it's the state that it's supposed to be in. Corten steel's supposed to have rust on the outside. It actually keeps the inside structure from getting damaged, so it's beneficial. And then on top of that, the SBI mural, the octopus mural that is on the bridge that goes over Desert Inn, was completely tagged. It's basically covering the whole expanse of it. Right now, I'm coordinating with Public Works to help assist in the removal of it. I've removed about half of it, and I'm going to keep on continuing. And Public Works is going to come in and try to pressure wash the remainder off. There's seems to be that there's going to be a little bit of repair needed, not too much, luckily, because it's coated with a protected an anti-graffiti coating GSS. But there were some areas just due to weathering and just valleys and porous surfaces where the protective coating just didn't work as well. So there's a little bit of damage. And all those photos I will include with next month's conservation report.
Thanks, Brett.
Yep.
Okay, so you can see a list of our community engagement projects.
For the stencil art project, currently we have all of our artists vendored. We have 5 total artists vendored for this project, but we are having to wait for the next fiscal year in order to get our stencil company on board and vendored and to get started.
The American 250 History Utility Box project, or I think it's actually called Signal Box project. This is rapidly coming to a close. We do have some designs in place, and we're trying to button up this week those designs and those texts. We did go to each district office and sent them their panels so that we had some stakeholder engagement at this phase and looking for vast typos, everything and anything we can gather. This project has to be completed by 6:30. So we're hoping to get it wrapped up here pretty soon. It is also going to be exhibited at that America 250 exhibit in the Rotunda. So those boxes that are not going out in our community will actually still get to go out in the Rotunda, and people could read about those locations that were in City of Las Vegas and Boulder City as well. Yeah, it's a good project. It's fun.
For the Spring Mountain Camp Empowerment Art, we kind of hit a wall at the moment. We're waiting for our installation company to come back to us with a new quote amount. So what has happened is the center has decided to keep the vinyl prints inside the cabinets as vinyl instead of banner. So we're going to keep them as vinyl prints. We are going to reinstall them, and we are going to install the wooden molding around each one. But unfortunately, our install company right now has not given us that proper amount so we can get we can get going with the installations. We're waiting on that. It's looking like this may have to be carried over to fiscal 27.
And then the A's elephant temporary sculpture, we're still just kind of waiting right now to hear back from the A's. We have identified now that the only location we have identified is the county government center, and this is the proposed location. We're kind of moving back to the larger elephant named Hank that would go in this place. And then I've offered up a few other locations, but they have not responded. So this is on loan. We will not spend any money on this except for staff time.
The Parkdale Hispanic Heritage Mural Connex box is currently on hold. We are still awaiting a new Connex box to arrive, so our artists can get started again on the brand new box.
Eileen, they just sent an email that said, yes, it just arrived, just so you're aware. So that's exciting, but we did also tell our management and Parkdale staff that, you know, the reality is now it is burning hot in our community. And so it is at the pleasure of Juan of when we'll do this project.
And then Zap Spring Mountain is almost done. We have 4 more artists working on their last boxes. Once all of our boxes are done, Commissioner Jones has been in contact with us, and they are hoping to do a large dedication during the fall of this year. And the wetlands is already completed.
This one's completed as well. Okay, so you can see here we have 18 projects funded currently.
Okay, right now we have Lamont still installed over at Boulevard Mall and at the Winchester Cultural Center. We have just extended those installations till July 2nd. So instead of packing it up on June 30th, we will be able to enjoy them a little bit longer until July 2nd. And there is also talk of doing a concert for the musicians involved in this project to perform a small concert on June 23rd. June 30th at the Winchester. We'll give you more updates on that.
So one thing on this that I just want to note is with this last exhibit, Lamont has had some issues. The quality of the work, some paint splashes, some dirtiness, some screws missing. And at Winchester, the music, while it was supposed to be a full minute of the musicians' songs, it was 3 beats, 3 or 4 measures. And they have not fixed that. The handle did get stolen from one of them as well. And that hasn't been replaced or fixed. So it is a bit concerning with Lamont that this is our last project with them. And you could tell the attention of care for a exiting vendor or client is not so great.
For the State District mural, we are still waiting for Commissioner Knapp to approve all of our projects with them, including the box list and budget for the State of District.
And I think to clarify, that's really more the arts plan needs to go to the BCC for that move and those changes from the art committee.
ZAP 18 also almost completed. We have 2 more artists waiting to finish. Our artists have been bumping into some obstacles regarding their travel over to Searchlight, also because of the wind and all types of environmental issues that they're facing every time they go out there to Searchlight. But they have given us a projected completion date of the end of June. Juvenile Justice Service mural is right now under review. I have passed it over to Tammy. Tammy will be reviewing everything that we have already and then putting this together in order to move forward. Then Walnut Recreation Center Playground mural. So we were pretty much complete with the mural, but we did sit down and talk with Matt, the artist, to see if he would be available to fill in a gap. If you see on the photo that you have there, there are large signages on the mural itself, and they are very distracting. And we feel that it would be better if we remove those signs and filled in the rest in with his design. So we approached RPM, they removed the signs for us, and now currently Matt is filling in those gaps to complete the mural.
And then you all are aware Desert Breeze Event Center is awaiting BCC Parks Plan approvals. And then Aquatic Springs installation, I'm assuming with this has been assigned to Tammy as well, to start progress on this project. For Desert Flow at Southwest Ridge Bicycle Skills Park, this is another one that Eileen is working on. The project. So finalists are currently working on their project briefs and design presentations. They did have a meeting May 20th, and design presentations are set for July 16th at Aquatic Springs Indoor Pool. And so anyone's invited to go to those presentations. Once we receive those designs, we market it at appropriate locations, specifically the location we're going to do that presentation at. Because this park hasn't been built yet, we couldn't do it on the park. And so we are right down the street at Aquatic Springs. It's an exciting project. We did have a challenge here with artists. So artists being from out of town and addressing or having issue with the fact that we pay $1,000 for a project brief and presentation. We required them to come to Vegas for that presentation as a sign of good faith and also to get to know our community. And we did have some of those artists decline because they felt like $1,000 wasn't enough. But I would argue that the reality is I think project briefs kind of intimidate them as well. And our project briefs are there for them to be professional and to do the job that we've asked them to do. So when an artist shows up and merely has pitched a design and has not done any of their background work to realize if they could afford to make the design that they said and now they're pitching to us, that becomes a big problem. And so that's kind of where we're at with that. I have had an artist today from this call approach me, tried to send me a maquette, a full scale, not a full scale, but life-size bicycle that they welded together over the weekend to show me what they would have presented, but refused to work with us. And I said, that's nice, but we didn't require any of it. What we required you to do is make a connection with our community and do your job and know that you can build this thing by providing us some simple information. Who's your engineer? What would be the maintenance plan? What's your design? What's your budget? Just so you all are aware. All right, Eileen.
Thank you. So for the Red Rock Legacy Trail, we are currently waiting for the project briefs from the 3 finalists. Those are due this Thursday, so we should be seeing those by the end of this week. And then our design presentations will be next week on Thursday, June 18th, from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And this is going to be at the West Career and Tech Academy, where we will be seeing the presentations from the 3 finalists for Red Rock.
As I stated last month, comprehensive planning review has been approved. I did reach out to the artists this past month, let them know that that had happened. And then I reached out to purchasing. Purchasing is working on a contract. In fact, they've sent me a contract to review. So hopefully next month we'll be showing you the winning design.
So for the wetlands monument, right now we are still stuck on permitting. Our artist is still trying to put together his plan and get all of those designs stamped and signed. Hopefully we will get that permitting situation fixed sooner than later, and we can get this project up and running.
What's that, Jerry?
Am I there? Okay. You guys are busy. Okay, moving on. Thank you for that report. Really, like I said, overworked and understaffed.
I do, actually, with that, if I can interrupt you, I apologize, but we do have word that we have full approval for the go out for our conservation position. And so there's some buttoning up I need to do in the next couple weeks with that project, but I would expect by next month. You will see on the HR site of Clark County that there's going to be a position for conservator for public art in our office.
Will there be qualifications attached to that? Okay.
I think that's what I have to, that's my next couple weeks.
Ah, okay. Very good. Thank you. Well, then moving on to it. Agenda item 9. Identify emerging issues by the committee at future meetings. Comments made during this period of the agenda by individual members shall refer solely to proposals for future agenda items, and any discussion shall be limited to whether such proposed items shall be placed on a future agenda. No discussion regarding the substance of any proposed topic shall occur, and no action shall be taken. This is not an action item. Any of our committee members here have any issues that they would like or any topics to address during future meetings? Okay, hearing none. Moving on to agenda item 10, comments by the general public. Have any, are there, is anyone, is there a general public listening, watching?
No, there isn't.
There isn't? Okay. Well then, sounds like we need to move on to agenda item 11, our next meeting, which will be Tuesday, July 14th, 2026 at 3:30 p.m.
I guess the only thing I'd want to suggest here or make a comment on is typically you all have canceled the July meeting. Now, I think with the bylaws still pending and things going on, I don't necessarily know that that's a good choice, but I wanted to bring that up to you all.
Thank you. That is a good comment. I think we should go ahead with the meeting. All right. Well, then that'll be set for July 14th. Okay, then moving on to agenda item 12, adjournment. There are no objections. We stand adjourned. Thank you all for your attendance. It is appreciated. It is. So I know there are things that we get to take on. So thank you.
Thank
And
you.
enjoy-
And thank you, Mickey and team.
Yeah,
Yes.
Thank you.
Till next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Hey, Brett.